you?
You know what you gotta do from now on? You just gotta be like, do it right on. I keep starting on mute. But happy birthday! I was screaming happy birthday.
Oh, good morning, buddy. Thank you very much.
Happy
Who is that?
birthday to no, hold on. You gotta stay there. Just take this. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dom. Happy birthday to you. Dom, what a great
Oh,
day.
thank you, Ryan.
This is awesome. It is a day of joy. I feel like we're finally the same age, and then I will be, right? Yeah, we are the same age, right? As of today.
41, yeah. Yep.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, sir.
I was hearing someone recently saying, talking to a group of people, young people, and this person was saying, they said, hey, here's a surprise. The way that you feel now at your age of 20 something is exactly how you're going to feel in your 40s. It's like, it's amazing. Your brain does not change. And even when my parents would say that when I was younger, it didn't make sense, but now it makes sense. So,
Oh, really?
I don't know. Do you feel the same? Do you not feel the same? Do you
No.
feel that different?
Yeah.
God. You're like, no, life is completely different. It's not good. Goodness gracious. Yes, and we got Anne. Anne is reporting in from New York City, which is amazing. We got Dylan over here. Good morning to everyone. Brofit. What'd you say?
I said, did you guys get to hang out yesterday? Did you see Ann in New York?
I did see Anne. We didn't really get to hang out as much. Anne, I saw you at least like 3 times, I feel like. Snuck up as we were buying some things at the Friends booth. I saw Anne at another point where I think it was around DJ Kaufman's table. DJ Kaufman was doing some sketches. I got a new sketch yesterday. I needed it. You know why? I'm going to tell you why I needed this. And I know it sounds selfish because I know I could have gotten. So I got a curious pain for myself. I've been finding that I needed to balance out this idea. Now, it doesn't need to be, and also just make sure anyone checking in right now, VeeDads is very much VeeDads, My Daily Dads. We come from a community of individuals that very much attach to a lot of like soft skills, talking about soft skills, trying to implement soft skills, teaching our kids these soft skills, through these characters, 250 plus characters that are all kind of on that. I'm trying not to go the usual direction of like, this is his project and blah, 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 right? What's the purpose of it? So all these characters are helping us teach them, but this is Gary Vaynerchuk's coming from his mind, his project, and stuff like that. But this is Curious Crane. And I've been finding so much more lately that people who do not stay curious enough to slow down, ask questions, dive in to what you're saying, if the people that lack curiosity, the people that I find myself naturally just pulling away from. And so it's been something that's really been really helpful. So it's been a good balance between the knowing gnome and this, because I kind of like picture now like the knowing and the curiosity all together. I really appreciate it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on why I had that drawn yesterday. But yeah, no, it's been really cool. And yes, we will have to hang out a little more. Well, yeah, no, tonight there's a tournament. We're all hanging out. I think a lot of people had dinner plans, so some groups did different things yesterday. But it was cool.
That's awesome. Where's Blaze?
I feel like I just threw a lot of information out. I don't know. Blaze is well, no, Blaze
you guys were gonna be together.
Over here. Blaze is with his wife right now at a very nice hotel over here in Brooklyn. They are enjoying their time together, I'm sure, and that's amazing. I wasn't going to push anything. As dinner ended last night, I said, "Hey, do you want to do a live in the morning?" Didn't feel completely like a solid yes, so I left it open. I said, "Fine, whatever you got to do, buddy." Yeah, so That's all good. It's good though. No, I'm really happy he's been. But this is what I said about Blaze yesterday. And if anyone doesn't know, again, we're talking basically about Comic-Con right now. And Comic-Con is Blaze's world. Like Blaze loves comics. He not just loves them, but he knows them very well. Like Blaze is a very intelligent person, and I don't know if people really pick up on that sometimes. Not that they don't. I just like you might not know. I think Blaze is so intelligent, but he knows so much about comics and he talks about them. This is what I said though. This is the funny part because the other stuff's boring. I said, Blaze, I really wish that we had like a camera. Like you know those cameras people put on their dogs and they just like let their dogs like run. I really wish I had like one of those dog cameras on like Blaze as he like ran
Blaze.
through Comic-Con yesterday because he was like, I have a to-do list. I got to get my to-do list done. I think he did. He said he got like 80% or 90% of his to-do list done. He was
Man,
like, I was asking what his to-do list was, and he mentioned he's like getting like signatures on this. He was telling me like in a comic, there's like this person, this person, this person, this person that develops this comic. And he's like, I'm getting all those signatures. And I was like, dude, that's all. I felt so happy for him. So he was just running around doing his thing. He was in his element.
Yeah, probably unstoppable.
I couldn't stop him. So
All the energy.
yeah, cool stuff. I got a Stoic Slime sticker out to you yesterday. That was necessary.
That's awesome.
There
Thank you
is
so much.
and yes, Craig, we are very VeeFriends focused right now in this conversation. I saw you post something about this, and I know that again we're talking a lot about the VeeFriend stuff, and yeah, the global thing I think is something that does need to be worked on. I was talking with someone on the team yesterday at dinner, and something I took away, which wasn't the focus of our conversation, was the fact that anything that seemed to be outside of New York added so much more of an element to kind of set up and all that kind of stuff. So they actually mentioned something like, okay, well, we would maybe think about doing like Comic-Con in San Diego. Now, I know I'm talking about physical and we're talking about even just mailing things out. But it just sounded as if like there is this moment of realization of, okay, now I think we can. It's not that they don't want to or that they weren't thinking about it, but like it's now a physical, like, okay, I think we can finally do it. I also feel that with some of the product launches, specifically with these ninja cards, the tops, I think one, the team is very excited, but two, I think that global reach is going to be a lot more possible. So anyway, I know this is a very VeeFriends focused stream right now, but
It's fine, man. Brought us here.
Anyway, yeah, let's do it. How about gratitude? Want to share some gratitude?
Gratitude right now is life. Another year completed, another year started. My birthday fell on a Friday this year, so I didn't have to, take time off work or work on my birthday. I always kind of like go back and forth on that as like, oh, well, I'll do something this weekend, so I'll just work on my birthday. But when it falls on a Friday, I get to spend the time home with my wife and kids. Wife booked us a lunch reservation, so just the two of us going to lunch. And it'll be nice to see my kids in the morning in the next hour. And then we have a dinner reservation tomorrow with some friends. So
that's awesome, man. I wanted to ask what it is that you normally do. Is that how you like to be celebrated? How you just mentioned it, having a Friday off, being with the family, having a lunch reservation with your wife. First of all, you guys do so good. I almost want to put up a reminder for myself that you guys do dates well. You do dates often. And the one that I love the most, and this is the best one, you said that you do a treadmill date at the gym. Right?
We have done that, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, whenever you said it, you made it sound like it was like a usual thing, which I loved, and I'm still going to keep it in my mind as well.
I think we've done it twice. And yeah, we're not always good about it, but we have been trying to be better about it lately. So I think that was kind of like one of the things like leading up to VCon or this summer, like the summer of streaming and all that stuff. Like when I was hard in all that stuff, like Amy kind of sat me down and she's like, "You're putting too much focus on all this stuff, so I need you to, reel some of that focus towards me." And so we just agreed to do something weekly. And we've been decently good about that. The Fridays dropping the kids off at school and then just the two of us being there home
Yeah.
are really, it's just really easy to go to brunch or go to the gym or go do something. But yeah, definitely not always like this. Don't think that. We're getting better and we're improving and we're working together on it.
I definitely wouldn't want to. I didn't. My first feeling when you said that was, I don't want to think that. You just, right? You just said, don't think that. And I was like, but I want to think that. It's going to make me happier thinking that.
I want to think it too. Yeah.
But I was also hearing someone recently, what was I listening to? I'm just trying to remember. I heard someone say, or reminded me at least, like, never meet your heroes, like never meet your idols. Because once you do, you might find something either directly or indirectly that does not, that you don't identify with them any longer. And it's one of those. I want to not accept the fact that you don't do that often. I think that's just an awesome thing. So I'm putting it out there for me to remember next time. And these little dates, like but things don't have to be huge. In my mind, they do. Like, I'm always like, it has to be a date night, it has to be a restaurant, it has to be this, it has to get on a fucking treadmill. And not even for the exercise. I think it's just a nice thing to do. Anyway, happy birthday to you, Dom. And I'm very happy that you will have some plans for the weekend. It's awesome.
Do you have a quick gratitude before we get into the reading?
Oh, thanks for asking. I need that grounding. I will, and it's probably going to follow the same vein as many things. What's up, Scuba? Whenever Scuba pops in, you want to say hi. Last night was really cool. I didn't even read it. Not that I didn't want to. Scuba always says, he's like, Ryan, I know I make you nervous on stream. Not that you make me nervous. There's just a lot of things to take in at once. It's just a lot of things. I noticed that he switched. Oh, they're probably just where it has to lose. Great, yeah, it's a lot. A good thing to be reminded of. Thanks, Scuba. Same vein. Last night we had a dinner over at Fly Fish Club. Not only was it just a really great environment, a really cool thing to finally see like NFTs actually turning into something, but no, it's just like a really great discussion. And I think like the conversation, the discussion, I think that I kind of placed myself, not with like different people, but I placed myself in the conversation with some people that I haven't been able to before. And it was cathartic, it was refreshing, it was therapeutic, and I was just really grateful that we ended up having that moment together. I shared a tomahawk steak with Teacher. We went at it.
Ooh, nice.
And it was delicious.
Sweet.
So no, it was just really grateful for the conversation. It was just a reminder too of how this community of people, it's just amazing how everyone with a very similar mindset somehow found it, and we're all just coming together. And I even turned to two people that I was sitting next to, happened to be sitting next to people. And I said, you know what, I just feel so comfortable with is the fact that like we can be ourselves right now, and the fact that like we can just get deeper really quickly. And we didn't get too deep, but it was just something where it's like we don't have to even play through any of the small talk, which is really cool. So anyway, that is my happiness. That's my gratitude.
Awesome.
You did a really good job yesterday with the reading, Jason. So did you, Jason. Thank you for letting me ride a bike, and it was pointless for me to even be on stream, but thank you for doing that yesterday.
We were just all looking for you to punch out a taxi cab driver. Tap on some windows.
Unlucky for you all, I was on a very dedicated. I was on a dedicated bike path. I'll have to make sure. Well, not the whole time actually, but next time I'll put myself in a position to do that. Yeah, it is. You know what? I always talk about biking in the city, but biking through Manhattan is like such a special experience. And I feel that every single time I do it, and I always just love it. So it's really cool. Anyway, let's jump in, not to waste more time, people. I'm so sorry if we are only getting to this meditation at this point, but we will. But this is good. I actually love today. Do you want to take it, Dom? You do a really good job. Your energy is always good at getting into it.
Teach them that it is figureoutable. Which I don't know. If you looked up, I'm not sure that's a word. Could be.
So I didn't know if it was a word either, but I loved that they used that word because
Yeah.
I think even along with the meditation today, it was like it doesn't matter if it's a word or not. We just know what it means, and now we can just move forward. I'm sure that you are figureoutable. I feel like it's going to be a word, isn't it? Oh, well, there's that book, I guess, that they reference here.
It's a book title. So, but yeah, the quote is like a real main quote that Ryan uses a lot from Marcus Aurelius. It's the quote that's based on the Obstacle is the Way book, and very, very fluent through Stoicism. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So it's kind of like based on what we've been talking about the last couple of days is, every obstacle can be turned into an opportunity, a lesson to teach our kids, lesson to teach ourselves. And, like this going into this one, everything's figureoutable. Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's one of those simple lessons, right? That like we all kind of know, but like it's good to have a reminder to like, to what I like to take from it is like when your kid asks a question, don't just say, like, well, go look it up. Like it gives you their curiosity gives you a chance to sit with them and figure it out together. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know. Let's go figure that out together. It could be a really fun moment. You never know what you're going to find out or what might spark in you or the kids. Obviously, that's not as easy to do all the time, especially if your kid's in the age group of asking a million questions. And it seems like that's all they ever do is ask questions. So obviously, you can't spend all your time, but try to take a deep breath, put your phone down, and realize that you only have so much time with the kid, and when they're in that moment of curiosity, it's a good, like they're open to spending time with you, and it's a good moment to have. Like my one of the things that I wrote is like I'm kind of out of that phase with my older ones, because they're in the phase of like learning more independence. So like from my perspective or my advice from a guy with older kids to everyone here with younger kids is like it's always going to be the same as like try to embrace all that time you have with your young kids because they get old soon, quick, and then your time with them becomes less and different.
Everything you just said, I was trying to write some things down as you were saying it because I think that what you said at the end there, I think is really important because this is that moment where I think that you can find so much more time with your kids right now. But this is I think this right now, right? Things are figureoutable. I think the idea that you can help your kids discover and find something. Two things. One, I think that the smartest people in the world, one, are comedians, but I guess two is what I'm going to say is that I think the smartest people in the world will tell you, I don't know. And that's really important. But I'm going to take it a step further into parenting. I think when we can really see that a parent is mature enough and I think very confident with where they are in their life with their kids, they take advantage of these small moments. So it's not about just knowing to say, I don't know if you don't know. But I think that we can, as parents, swallow our pride because it's not about us anymore. So even if we do know, it's time for you to close your mouth, maybe even say that you don't know, use the time to help your kid now become as smart as you, think a little bit deeper for yourself. But I think that, you know, it's a good sign of maturity to not be a parent that's jumping in to help your kid out so much by telling them the answer, making sure that you're helping your kid out, know that, you know, this skill of staying curious, asking questions. I get so nervous. I don't know if I want to approach this statement with that, but I'm going to stay there. But I get really nervous with my girls. I'm always thinking like all I want, of course I want them to be happy. I want them to be strong. I want them to be healthy. I want them to be healthy. One thing I always want is them to always know that they can ask for help and know where to go and have the confidence to ask for help. Because maybe because growing up, I didn't know how to ask for help all the time, where to go, or I felt as if I have to do it myself. So it's the idea that, okay, if we can teach our kids, well, one, as parents, like we don't know everything, and that we ourselves are going to have to go to the library, go approach someone to ask a question, make sure that we're staying curious. Again, that we don't know everything. That is such a huge lesson for our kids. So that's just a really big thing. You said, Dom, you said, I guess I kind of said this already, but it's a lesson to teach ourselves. And that's what, again, all of these things are, right? These are lessons to be a dad for our kids, but it's also teaching us. I do want to read from the meditation today, actually. I wasn't going to read this whole paragraph, but I liked because is this coming from the book? Because it references Marie Forleo's book, Everything is Figureoutable. You guys can look. It's not an old book. I think maybe 1990 something, whatever it was. It's right here. It may have been even earlier than that, but it isn't an old book whatsoever. And this doesn't matter, but I was just curious. Originally published 2019. Okay, cool. So it's not an old book, but anyway, from this book, maybe, I don't know if this is from the actual book, but it's actually being put up in our home here because I thought it was really good. But listen, when it comes up with these problems, right? Problems can be solved, ignorance can be eliminated, answers can be tracked down, the unknown can be made familiar, things can be discovered. I mean, all of those statements can live on their own, but I feel like that whole like thought, just like the flavor and everything about that, I think is just so cool because it's right, and I just like how it's so defined, right? Again, problems can be solved, ignorance can be eliminated, answers can be tracked down, the unknown can be made familiar, but things can be discovered. So if we do not stay curious, if we think that we know everything, if we don't allow our kids to, take the moment and learn themselves, and we can just be there to guide them, we're missing a big
And I think you can also approach it from like the standpoint of, like you said, like not being embarrassed or feeling shame that like you don't know, and like obviously not putting your kids in that place where they ever feel that way. Like maybe kind of what you said about your life is like making sure you make them feel comfortable saying that they don't know something and that they need help, is like a big thing. And obviously, like I think a lot of what this is saying here is like turn it into a fun thing. Turn everything into a fun, like turn it into an adventure. Like that's a word that was in this that I liked, is turn a random question they have into an adventure. Like don't know, like I feel like most of the time we're going to take the easy route where we're going to say, I don't know, let's go ask Siri or Google AI or whatever. Let's go ask them the answer. But like once in a blue moon, like turn it into a little bit further than that when they ask a question and say, well, let's go to the store and let's figure it out. Let's buy this. Let's make this. Wow.
I didn't see that they even said that. I think. You okay?
Did I not read the word?
What's that?
Did I add a word?
It doesn't even matter, but you use the word adventure, which I just liked, and I was just saying that I missed that. So here, I don't really care.
It's in the second paragraph. Number 2 says, curiosity is the starting point of a great adventure.
What's today? The 18th. You said second paragraph?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're saying it doesn't matter. It's there. But I when what's up, Rob?
Busy
So good
bee.
to see you. We got both masters in the chat, which is awesome. On the couch. Both masters on the couch here. That's great.
It might be on the couch
Rob,
together.
I'm sending look at this. Look at this. Look at these. Look at these little decals. I sent these are on your way to California. I also don't let Rob Messer, I'm saying this to you because he's joining in from X right now. I sent these home with Chels, so make sure you ask her for one. Okay. Um,
Yeah, I always wonder how they split events like that. If they come home and share the swag one of them gets versus the other one gets.
well,
Sure
as
they
many
do.
people who know, I think that there was some of the items yesterday became very liquid very quickly, and so we were talking about they might not even end up getting back home into
I
Rob's
couldn't
hands.
believe how many things were there. I saw a post from Anne, like her night recap. She had so much stuff.
That's
There was a
exactly what
lot
I'm
of
saying, Rob. Yeah, she may sell first. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff, and that's just like that's what this whole thing is about. It is just so much stuff. So find what you like and stick with it instead of trying to collect everything. But I think everyone is also feeling that too. It's like, okay, I gotta.
yeah.
To where are we at here? We're 27 minutes in. We'll try and keep this up at that 30 minutes. But with the to ground the idea of staying curious, I like that Ryan Holiday did bring up that the young versions of notable figures, whoever might be in history, and this goes back to my thoughts sometimes where, you know, we always highlight the romantic side of people who like made it. And it's like, there's many people who didn't make it, but, you know, many notable figures in history that they went through some of these essential lessons. And there were three. And, you know, one, these notable figures when they were kids, when they were younger, that their parents actually listened. And I just, the listening, the curiosity just like completely stays with me so much. Like it's just, it's like in me right now, like so much like curiosity, curiosity. How do we stay curious? What do we do? But number one, they had parents who listened and cared. But there's also a lot of people that are notable figures whose parents didn't seem to care. So just gonna set that aside. Number two is that I don't know, like there's a lot of people, like there's a lot of stories that like they're like my parents completely just abandoned me and now I'm successful. But like what was that? I don't know why this is the movie I'm thinking of right now. Who is it? David Orr played for the Baltimore Ravens. Who's the football player? Not David. Is it David Orr? The guy who whatever. What was that movie? Blindside.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Yep,
know.
I remember that
He's a
movie.
notable figure. I'm pretty sure he was abandoned and found on the side of the road, just walking.
Yeah.
And that's some people adopted him, and now there's a whole thing about that. But anyway, my God, what an aside. But anyway, parents listened, they cared. So go listen to your kids, care about your kids, care about what they're saying. But most importantly, number two here is stay curious. Because that is what he's saying is the starting point to what Dom said here about a great adventure. So making sure that if they're asking something like making an adventure, where are we going to go to figure this out? You're going to go back to school tomorrow. You're going to go find your science teacher, maybe a teacher you don't know. Maybe you're going to walk into the library. You're going to go find some books. This is how to use the Dewey Decimal System, if that's still a thing. I don't even know. And then number three, right? You know, what I just basically said is like that there's places to make it an adventure, to really stay curious. And obviously the internet's there. And I don't, you know what I had, Jason, if you're still in the chat too, where are we? Okay, we're over time. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this though. The encyclopedia, what is it? Were they Encyclopedia Britannicas? We had like a whole set of them. So like when we needed something, we would open up these encyclopedias. I thought that was the coolest thing. And I still remember this day. Like I think about it. I'm like, that was just real-time Googling. You're just looking in books basically. But that was really cool. They put everything in there. Jason, do you remember that whole series of the Encyclopedia Britannicas? It felt like it had every answer in the world. And obviously now that we think about it, it did not have every answer in the world, but we just kept
every answer
doing
at the time.
projects. I don't know. Anyway, I'm so sorry.
I wonder how big that volume set would be if it was updated to today with all the answers in the world.
Which is a really good point about kids having to learn so much more, right? It's like I feel like people, like grandparents, like, man, like I loved history. I'm like, you loved history because you had like 3 things to learn. Like now, now, now there's so many things that we have to learn, and it's like it's just overwhelming. So I don't know, whatever it is. Anyway, Dom, we are at time. Dom, happy birthday. Can we get some happy birthdays from the couch? Can we just throw some happy birthdays in? I want to see at least 3 of them, please. Happy birthday to Dom. Dom, I hope you have an excellent happy birthday weekend. I think it's going to be a really fun time for you. So, yeah, dude. All right, guys. We hope your mugs stay full of coffee and your hearts with gratitude. We will see you tomorrow morning. Take care, guys. Bye.
See you, buddy.
There it is. We got 3. Wait, they're all from Craig.